Hi and welcome to The Reality Show, Episode 2, where we take a little bit about real estate, a little bit about reality, try and put them both together to see if we can help people see the world a little clearer. There's an old saying that things aren't always as they appear, and that's never been truer than it is today with some folks who are in a position to buy real estate. I've had a number of people in the last couple of months say, well, Dave, real estate goes through cycles. It goes through peaks and valleys, and right now we're in a downward trend, so I'm going to wait a couple of months before I make a deal, and I'll buy at the bottom. It'll be better for me. And that sounds like a great strategy, but it's really important that you understand exactly how real estate cycles, and you have to be able to identify the bottom. Now, when people think of the cycle of real estate, they think of the peaks and valleys, the ups and downs. I've had people actually do this. They'll say real estate goes up and down, and it does. But when they think about it, they have a picture in their mind of a cycle that goes up and down and up and down. About every 7 years, the cycle changes, and over time, there's going to be times when the market's high and the market's low, but that's the way it works. And truthfully, that is not very accurate. That is not a very realistic way to think about real estate. In reality, the cycle of realty is it goes up, and then it does go down. But when it goes down, it doesn't go down as low as it started. The cycle will change and it'll track back up again. And when it goes up in the second cycle, it goes up higher than it stopped going up at the cycle previous. And then the economy will change, inventories will change, it'll go back down again. And then it'll track back up. But it never goes down as low as it started, and it never stops as high as it stopped. It always tracks up. And over time, you can track in North America, the real estate market has gone on a pattern more like this. So think about it. If you were looking for a house, and you found a house on the downward track right here, and it was a house that you loved, and because we were working together, you knew exactly where the market was. You knew the house was priced well for the market that week. And you knew where the interest rates were, and you knew it was a house that really matched all your needs, and you could be very happy there. You said, well, we're on a downward side now, Dave. We're still tracking down. I'm going to wait until the market bottoms out. I don't want to buy it now. I may pay too much. So you might wait, and you might wait a month, and you might wait 2 months. And then, unfortunately, we don't know where the bottom is until the market turns around and starts going in the other direction. In the same way that we don't know where the top is until the market turns around and starts going in the opposite direction. So at some point, I would phone you and say, well, last month prices went up a couple $1,000s a unit. Or last month, we saw a greater volume of sales. We saw the market picking up some momentum. And is that a trend or is it just a blip? We won't know until another month goes by. And then we'd have to, maybe 3 months later, we identify a trend and we say, okay, here we are now. We know the market was 3 months ago. It's time to buy that house. Now, wouldn't it be a shame if you went back to buy that house, let another family come along and loved it just as much as you did, and they bought it out from under you? And think about it. Whether you buy it on the downward side or whether you buy it on the upward side, you're buying a home. You're going to be living in it for a while. You're going to live in it for several cycles. So after a cycle or two, does it matter how much you paid for the house? Is it really important whether you bought it here or you bought it here? If after 5, 10, 15 years it's increased in value and you've got the house that you really want to live in. Focus on the house you want to live in and focus on the market as it exists the day you're looking. I can help you with that. Don't focus on the cycle, because over time it won't make any difference at all. So that's a perfect example, in my opinion, of how things aren't always as they appear. Real estate cycles, but it isn't as critical to making a good investment as a lot of people think that it is. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Tune in next week for the next episode of The Reality Show. And remember, things aren't always as they appear. I'm Dave Chalmers. Thanks for visiting chalmstv.com.